my Giovanna Mellon. So in this video, I'm going to talk about soulmates and twin flames. I think that this is on a lot of people's mind these days, and especially some people are looking for their soulmate or their twin flame. More often people are looking for their twin flame because that is truly the completion to their soul. And it's what they feel is their true counterpart that they are looking for. A soulmate is not going to be a completion to your soul. A soulmate is really another soul that you meet that aids in your growth in some kind of way. They are kindred spirits. They are usually cut from the same cloth as you. So you have similar frequencies and vibrations. Your dreams, your goals, your outlook on life will be very, very similar. But ultimately, they are not in your life to stay permanently. They will come and go. Some people marry their soulmates, and that's fine. But some people are looking for a more in-depth type of relationship than what a soulmate can provide. A soulmate will truly be a friend and a companion and will help you grow. They will be someone that you can have a lot of fun with and you can spend many years with. But you have more than one soulmate. You do not have just one soulmate, but you only have one twin flame. So there lies the difference. And for anyone who is wondering where this information came from, it actually comes from the divine texts. The idea about how Adam, in the Bible and in the other Abrahamic religions, how Adam was the first organism or the first human soul that was on earth, and from his own body, in the Bible it's about the rib, so from his rib the woman was created. And if I go into the Quran, I'm going to show you this beautiful passage that actually I used for my wedding vows. It is in Surah 4 and line 1. O mankind, fear and respect your guardian Lord, who created you from a single person, Adam, and from him he created his mate of similar nature, and from both the two of them spread like seeds countless men and women. And fear Allah, through whom you demand your mutual rights, and revere and respect the wombs that bore you, for Allah always watches over you. Okay, so that right there is the same type of wisdom that is given in the Bible, in the sense that the first organism on earth was one single celled, and it split off and it divided into two, and then it was the mate, and that was how sexual reproduction started to happen. Now the spiritual interpretation of that is to go a little bit further and to understand that from every soul that is born, because Adam represents the oversoul of humanity. I don't know if you understood that, but all human souls are connected as one, and they are also individual, but they're one and they're many as well, because Adam represents the very first soul that everyone came from. And what that means is that every individual soul also has a second half, a yin to their yang, a moon to their sun. There's always that second half. And a twin flame is someone that you will meet when you truly are ready for the completion of your soul and ready as far as on this physical plane. It's for people who are ready to really have a transcendent type of relationship that challenges them in a lot of ways, and it clears karmic pasts and karmic bonds and ties, and it completely almost cleanses or purifies a soul so that they can move on and transition into the next state of existence and not have to come back to earth to re-experience things or to learn. So a twin flame is for that soul that is really truly ready to actually pair up with that other half of them that they have been separated from at the time of the very first human on earth. And then as individual souls, when you're on earth, you're always looking for that second half. You do not know that, but that is what aids to your feeling more complete. And some people are throwing around the term soul completion process, which I do like, because I feel like it is kind of a process and you're trying to kind of complete something. Although there is a never-ending learning journey behind it, it's also allowing yourself to purify yourself for that state of consciousness and dimension that you're on in order to move on to the next. School is, I mean, Earth is kind of like school in the sense that it very much is levels and grades that you have to pass in order to move up to the next level and grade. It's just exactly the divine order of the universe in the sense that you have to have tools or certain things that you learn before you move on. Just as you do in normal schools on earth, you have to know the tools of third grade. You have to have that information before you can move on to fourth grade and learn all the new information, because it's kind of applying what you have learned already in the third, but it's adding on to it. So that's the same thing it is about universes and our dimensions, is that states of existence work that way, that you have things that happen to you on one level of consciousness and dimensions, and then you have to take all those tools and that information and that knowledge that you gained and obtained to the next. So it's very important to gather as much wisdom as you can, or as much information as you can, so that you can move on and you can graduate in a sense. So a twin flame is for those individuals who are actually ready to complete their soul in a sense. And this type of relationship is very difficult. It is going to be the polarization of you. So what it means is that if you're here on a timeline, your twin flame is here on a timeline. And the only way that you actually can meet up and be drawn into each other's lives is if you are over here working on your best possible version of yourself, and you are really you're really productive in self-improvement, and you're going about your life trying to leave a good mark on this world. And then you have the other person on the other side. They can be anywhere in the world. They can be anywhere. And they are also working on themselves. And what will happen is when you eventually meet up and you're on that same frequency and that vibration that you were created as, because every soul came in with a unique vibration to them, a unique frequency, which is kind of what string theory is all about, which makes everybody so unique and special and different, but we're all kind of playing in the same symphony. So when your vibrations actually match up and your frequencies match up, that is when you will appear in each other's reality. The problem with this type of relationship is that the moment somebody starts to either go higher or lower, then it also does a mirror effect. So it's very difficult. So if you're not aligned and you're not balanced with one another, then it's very hard to keep each other in each other's presence. So that's something that is a very big challenge for a twin flame, because your twin flame is a mirror to you, but it is also an opposite as well. So it's very difficult, because if you're not working on yourself, and if you somehow start to lose your path and start to become more inauthentic, and you start to just downward spiral in a sense of doing things that are not going to be the best choice for you, then what ends up happening is your twin flame kind of does the same, or they run away and they give you space to kind of figure out your own life. So you can only pull a twin flame into your life when you are really truly a balanced person. And that means having all chakras aligned and worked on. And once those chakras are unblocked and you have that divine flow flowing through you, that is when that twin flame will be attracted to you and pulled into your life. And they will see you. A twin flame always sees their other counterpart as being so full of joy. One of the things that will attract you to your twin flame is the happiness and the bliss and the joy that they exude. But the moment that you kind of start to waver on that self-love or that bliss or that internal happiness, that's when your twin flame will also kind of waver as well. So they mirror. So if you're imbalanced, then they also become imbalanced to you in a sense, and they're kind of pulled out of your life. But the great thing about twin flames is that once you meet your twin flame, once you have an idea that that is your twin flame, that is somebody that you are here to actually balance yourself with, or, well, your balance, but to learn how to maintain that balance. Once you have that knowledge that that person is your twin flame, it's a really joyful dance, because then you understand, and it leads you to a little bit more of a deeper understanding about your spirituality and about your own path and who you are. And it's a great love that's shared between you two. But the challenge is that you mirror each other. So you mirror each other's imbalances and you mirror each other's balances. So you must make sure that if you want to keep your twin flame, or if you want to make sure that your twin flame comes into your life, you yourself have to be a very balanced person. That means working on all the issues that you've had in the past, resolving them, letting go, releasing them so that new opportunities can come in. Balancing any type of blockages that you might have in any of the lower chakras from the time that you were born and all the way until now. And then also opening up your ability to be open-minded about miracles and about things that are unseen, that are behind the veil, because that's really important. You cannot meet your twin flame if you're a skeptic about spiritual nature. That just simply won't happen, because you're not going to be looking, you won't recognize, and so you won't know how to keep that twin flame in your life. So the twin flame is very much as it sounds. It is that flame that burns within each soul and spirit. And you have two flames that are going on at the same time. And when they're combined, they become very powerful, a very powerful couple. Twin flame couples are very powerful in the world. They create companies together. They create projects together. They are light workers together in the world, where they form a union that allows them to be their most perfect or higher version of their earthly selves, and this helps to radiate outward into the world, and they really do create really positive effects in the world. That's kind of the whole purpose of meeting up with your twin flame, is actually to become a more powerful version of yourself, in a sense, because if you're one flame, that's great, you're a light worker, but if you meet that other side, then you become truly very powerful. And you can have a child with each other, or you can adopt, it doesn't matter, but whatever happens within your relationship, just know that because you are together, you are far more powerful together, and you actually have the power to influence the world in very, very powerful and positive ways. So that's what I can tell you about what the difference is with the twin flame. And like I said, you're going to have many soulmates. Soulmates can be friends, they can be lovers. Soulmates are your kindred spirits that you vibrate on the same level and you understand each other. You also sometimes don't vibrate on the same level, but you have a love for one another, and you can't really explain it. Soulmates will come into your life in many different forms. Like I said, friends and boyfriends and girlfriends, and even husbands and wives. And you always will love them. There's this love for them. Even though they leave your life, You wish the best for them. You know, you're like, yes, that was one of my soulmates, and I wish them the greatest happiness on their journey. And that's how you can tell if they're a soulmate. If they are a twin flame, you will never want them with someone else. It's very hard because it's not even about possession. It's about understanding that no, this person is exactly who you are supposed to be with. There's nobody else in the universe that is actually for you than this soul. And I can say with 100% security that I finally met my twin flame as my husband. I've had many soulmates, and I made some really great relationships in the past. Some that were not so easy to deal with emotionally, and they were very hard. But then I met my husband, who's my twin flame, and it took me some time to realize it. But as I realized it, things have just been a constant journey to challenge myself. I'll tell you something about twin flame. They will trigger things in you that you thought you have worked on, or they will trigger things in you that you didn't even know you had inside of you, such as security issues, fear of abandonment, things like that. They will actually trigger you. This is why a twin flame relationship is so much harder than a soulmate relationship, because it's not just about companionship and having a fun time. It's about working on your stuff. And it is difficult. It is very, very difficult, because they will trigger a lot of old memories in you. They will trigger things in you that possibly are from past lives. You just feel like a crazy person with this person, but they love you regardless. Even if they love you from afar, or even if they love you while they're going through this with you, they love you, and it's the most wonderful feeling you can experience, because here they are pulling all of this stuff out of you, all of these triggers and emotions out of you, and you feel like you're crazy and no one's going to love you, and you just feel absolutely bizarre and damaged. And here your twin flame is saying, well, we're one. We're one. I'm stuck with you. Like, I'm going to help you get through this. We're one. And I love you even if you have all these issues. That's what a twin flame is. They truly see you for who you are deep inside, because their soul is the same. They may be the opposite sex from you. They may have different likes than you. I mean, my husband's into sports. He's into finance. He's into more things that don't really interest me, but we have the same soul. Our goal, our outlook on the world, our feelings of what we want to do with the future, our feelings of what we want to do, how we raise a family together are exactly the same. And that's where you realize that your twin flame is the same soul as you, but a different gender, or possibly a same gender. I'm not sure how that works, but I just know that this person that I'm with right now, they are the same soul as me. And oftentimes twin flames will have gone through the same lessons and trials in their life. It may have happened at different times, because while you were born and they were born, they were going through their thing and you were going through your thing, and you're only coming together now because you're on the same level. But at one point, you both were all at different levels of consciousness and journeys and events in your life and understandings and lessons. So you weren't together at that point. But when you finally match up vibration-wise to each other and your frequencies actually align, you will meet by synchronicity. You'll be at a club, or you'll be in a public place, and all of a sudden you'll just be drawn to each other. And you will see in them something that you have looked for in yourself, or you have noticed in yourself, and they will see something in you that they have noticed in themselves, or they have looked for, and it's a beautiful meeting, and that is what a twin flame is. And in Tolkien's book, I believe he was talking about Aragorn and Arwen being twin flames, because here they are. Arwen is a half elven, and Aragorn is a man, and it's the ending of the elves and the beginning of mankind in Lord of the Rings. And Arwen and Aragorn kind of come together, and they become this twin flame couple, and their child that they have starts kind of a new beginning for the elves. So it's not totally the ending of the elves. There's going to be some kind of elven DNA or elven bloodline still left on Middle Earth. So it's like a new beginning. And so that was the highest purpose for Arwen and Aragorn to get together. It's said that, you know, the Lord of the Ring is based on allegory. Well, if you think about Adam and Eve, you very much can see Arwen and Aragorn kind of symbolizing that Adam and Eve to the new age of man, and where elves are kind of together. So that they were a twin flame couple. So your twin flame is out there. I believe it is for everyone. But a twin flame, in order to come into your life, you really truly have to be someone that's very aware of twin flames, and be at that level of consciousness where you can allow them to exist, and to be at that level of consciousness where you have been actively working on yourself, and you've been actively balancing yourself and releasing and letting go, and fixing and correcting and repenting, and, you know, all these things that you have to do for self-improvement. That is important in order to meet your twin flame. And I promise you, while you are doing that, you're not the only one doing work. While you are doing all of that self-improvement, and you're on your own for a while, and you're going on your deep, your soul reflection times, and you're really taking your time learning about yourself, learning about your goals, your dreams, your destinies. What are you here to do? Your missions, your purpose, you know, everything that you want to accomplish as a soul. The other twin flame is doing the same thing, and they are doing it in their own way, at their own time, in their own country, wherever they are. And when you eventually get to the point where you are ready, where you are both ready consciously to actually meet on a very strong subconscious level, you will be pulled into each other's lives, and your frequencies will match up with theirs. And that's when they will appear in your reality, in your physical reality. And they will be a mirror of your self-love back to you. So when you accomplish the state of self-love, where you have forgiven yourself for some things, you have learned to love your flaws as well as your assets, they will be that mirror for you, and they will love you for your assets, and they will love you for your flaws. And it's a most amazing relationship, because I drive myself nuts. I drive my husband probably nuts, but he loves me. He finds those things endearing about me. And I think that that's what a twin flame is able to do, is able to put a mirror. You both become mirrors for one another. And you shine back that self-love, and you shine back that self-love to them. And that is a really wonderful relationship. And then you come together, and you're a bright flame of creation, and the power that you can exude as a couple into the world by just doing things together, by being a team and cooperating together, is really the power of a twin flame, and really what is the purpose behind twin flames. Because it's one thing about personal love and personal experience to experience love, but think about the greater achievement or the greater message, and you will see that twin flames have a higher purpose in order to be a positive ripple for all humanity, to be that example of great love for all humanity. And many, many couples that are coming together as twin flames are going to really bring in the light that we want to anchor on earth, in order to bring us into the new stages of peace and tranquility and beauty. And that's where we are heading. So twin flames are meeting one another right now to become those very powerful couples. Some people say that twin flames are in other dimensions, and you don't actually meet up with them in reality. I cannot really speak so much on that, because I I believe that twin flames have a very strong purpose to actually be able to apply to this world, as far as being a teammate. Possibly you could be someone who is on Earth and your twin flame is in another dimension, maybe on another planet. Whatever people have been saying about their twin flames. I've heard a lot of things like, oh, my twin flame is a Syrian from this planet. Well, then, if that is true, then somehow your consciousness are merging, and then they're giving you some kind of support, guidance in some kind of way to do the work that you need to do, to start the projects, to write the books, to become a light worker on Earth in order to spread peace and light. So it is all about joining together and becoming more powerful. So if it happens on the physical level, then that's where you can start to see really physical effects of it as becoming a team together, and helping the world and the next generations in a lot of ways. But if you don't come together on the physical, then I guess it would have to be solely through the mental consciousness emerging, and then you taking on projects with them in mind and creating change. So I guess that's how I could see it if people are saying that their twin flames are not here. But that is my information on twin flames, and I hope that it helps you. And I want you to understand, and I really mean this, and I said this to one of my subscribers, everybody has a twin flame, and I don't know if you all will meet them in this lifetime, but everybody at a certain point in their soul evolution, they join up with their twin flame. And I guess the strong message that I'm getting and my experience is that you just have to want it badly enough. You just have to be a seeker of it. And a way of doing that is making sure that you're focusing on the work that you need to do, and your twin flame is over there focusing on their work that they need to do. And that's when you meet up, is when you get to a point where the timing is right. And that is where your vibrations will align, and then you will materialize in each other's reality and exist as being able to mirror back love, pure unconditional love. It is pure unconditional love. Like I said, you can do anything in front of your twin flame and they will never stop loving you. And it's the same thing with you as well. They can do anything in front of you and you will not stop loving them. And this goes a little deeper than a soulmate, because a soulmate can come and go. And there are times where a soulmate will realize, well, this person was really wonderful and great, but then I just met another person that I feel more in love with, and that is a soulmate. Is somebody that is ready to move on to someone else and to experience someone else. But a twin flame will never leave your side. They are born from your soul. They're the other half of you. And it's not that they complete you, because you yourself as an individual soul are already completed, but it feels like they complete you in some kind of way, or they aid more in your soul growth. So I hope this made some sense, and I hope it kind of cleared up the ideas and showed a little bit of the twin flame relationship in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings trilogy as well. So Han and Lei for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.